Anthony here. I want to convert this Kimray. Right now it's at fail shut and I want it to be fail open. Some customers will do that for their separators and so forth. It's pretty easy. All we need is 9/16, 7/16, 9/16, 11/16 and a crescent wrench. We're going to start off by taking off this top bolt, this breather bolt, and all the bolts to open up this bonnet. Once we open up the bonnet, we're going to take the cap off, obviously, of this bonnet. You'll see the internals. Everything in here is going to end up being flipped upside down. And one thing to note is that this bolt that was on top of the bonnet, when you take it off, you want to make sure it's got its O-ring. It does. If it doesn't, you're supposed to rob it from the bottom down here. But I've noticed every time they both have an O-ring on the top and the bottom. I've been fortunate. Anyways, this top bolt that I took off, you need to take it apart. As you can see, this came off now. This used to be on top. Now it's going to end up going on the bottom. So all this stuff's going to come out. We're going to flip it upside down and it's going to rest on top of this, and I'll show you that here shortly. So we take the spring plate out. We take the spring out. This plate right here, you have to counterclockwise to unscrew it. But in order for that to happen without the stem being moved, you have to take your wrench and hold on to it as you turn this with your hand counterclockwise. Once it's loose enough, you no longer have to hold on to the wrench and you can just turn it counterclockwise until it comes out. So now the plate's out. You can see the bonnet is empty. Now that top piece that I told you that we need to take off that top bolt, we're going to put it on the bottom. We've got a spring plate and then the spring. So we're at that point. This, all we got to do now is flip it upside down and you see it's going to screw in that way. Alright, something I noticed, I wasn't able to get it to unscrew it on, and that's because I need to get the stem to go into the up position so I can use my wrench and pry the stem to go up, allowing that stem to be higher up so this can screw onto it. And let me do that now. So I was able to pry that stem up just like that. Now the stem is sticking out more, so this can now screw on after I put that spring in there. Now I've got it started to screw on. As you can see, this is what it's going to look like now. I've got my wrench here ready. That way as I tighten this, once it starts meeting any resistance, I can hold it here so this stem doesn't twist. I want to hold that and it'll come to a complete stop, and once it comes to a complete stop, you don't need to force it any more than that. And I was wrong. You may need one other tool, which is a small pipe wrench. That way you can hold on to this and turn this until it comes to a complete stop without forcing it. Alright, I used the pipe wrench just to save time because it was faster, but once I felt it stop, I did not try to force it. Now it's on. I can remove this wrench and we're ready to put the top on. So now I've put the top back on the bonnet, put all the bolts on, top bolt back on, breather bolt back on. Last thing I did is, if you see, this one's fail close. Now this one's been converted to fail open. I changed the plate on here to identify that pressure closes as opposed to pressure opens, and you want to do that for your customers. Obviously it doesn't actually physically change anything, it's just to identify what this motor valve does. And that's it. Complete.